and Cloud Street. Have you seen them around the place? And they supplied the music for it, and it works really good with music. And so we stuck it on a CD, and he's getting a week's holidays. He's off to Rome today or tomorrow. And his girlfriend, we gave her the CD, and so she's going to give it to him in Rome in a couple of days' time. So I told him I wrote him something, and he's looking forward to it. I suppose I'll do a love song or something for a change. Yeah, okay, thanks. I'll do a poem for you instead. There's still a poem I did about the tinkers, we used to call them, the gypsies back in Ireland. You see them going the road. Hands up anybody who's been to Ireland, I know somebody. And you see the tinkers going the road, you know, and you're not supposed to call them tinkers anymore, it's politically incorrect, but I still think it's the most romantic term, like, you know, the travellers and all different things nowadays. Anyway, but there was this particular bandit that used to come around our area. And this girl, she had long red hair, and God, she was awfully beautiful altogether. She was gorgeous, and she used to dance, and her dance was quite provocative and seductive. So she was made to dance away down the back of the square where no one would see her, you know. But I loved her anyway. I was just a little boy, and she had a little girl, red hair, the spit of herself, you know. But anyway, I wrote this poem. There's a couple of Irish words in it. Ruby, Darag is red ruby. Darag is red. Yeah, Ruby, Darag would be red hair. And there's Buchel. Buchel would be young boy. Pick up my coin, oh Buchel, and guard it in your honest hand. But turn your eyes from my lusty reel, the decent people band. For I'll dance my dance to feed my wane on the green behind the square, where the paying men conceal their sin with the priests and the peelers there. And one day you'll wed my Ruby Darag. One day you'll take her hand. For I read it in the stars, dear boy, and the tea leaves in my cup. You'll wed and keep my Ruby Darag, and you'll share the tinker's sup. And you'll protect her, Danny Joe, and shelter her from scorn. And when she's old enough to dance, she'll dance for you alone. Look, there's a gold one over there. Now quickly, pick it up. The balmy summer days gave way to a winter fierce and bleak, and the tinkers frozen in the glen were dying by the week. One snowy night the banshee cried, dawn broke the painful answer. Another foxy tinker gone, the young one of the dancer. That night I warmed her icy grave with tears from off my cheek. I never saw that clan again. They might be in Kildare, or down in Cork beside the Lee, they could be anywhere. Mending pots, reading palms, fighting for their supper, for the tinker sure knows how to live, and he sure knows how to suffer. What's that? You've heard of them in Clare? My laughing grandson chased a roo out of my garden patch. The kookaburras are laughing too. I think they're going to hatch. The lemon myrtle in the air soothes my weary soul as I doze beneath a Queensland sun and dream on days of yore, so long ago, so far away. The tea leaves got it wrong, to seem. Was it in another world, or was it just an old man's dream? Yeah, maybe just an old man's dream of a campfire quiet to fall asleep beneath a starry sky, with red-haired Ruby in his arms, humming Danny Boy in the flickering firelight gleam. Thank you again. Really want to try playing this thing like I feel looking cool. I'll try it anyway. When we are gone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Wasn't that just so moving? Absolutely heart-pulling stuff. And I want you to put your name down to come again tomorrow, please, Joe.
Our children, black and white, have overcome. Sing it with me. We have overcome. We have overcome. And children, black and white, have overcome. Thank you very much.
this is a funny little old songy. I hope I can remember this one now. I don't know, some of you might know this one. At the right key, jeez, I don't know what I do. Let's see. I can't play for this one. The guitar's just to look cool. You know, I can't play it right now. I'll do a bit with it in a minute. I was walking home one evening. Now I know this takes some believing, when I met a group of creatures with the strangest looking features. A poor old dog and a worm and a weed and a fine old pigeon, yes indeed. And Daddy Longlegs jumped up sprite and he danced to the reel of the flickering light. Around we go, he to the toe. Daddy Longlegs jumped up sprite and he danced to the reel of the flickering light. On his thin and wispy spindles, he was deft and he was nimble. His eyes were scientific and his dancing was terrific. And the rats and the worms, they laid it in, and the littles on the corner took it in. And God said, aye, tonight's tonight, we dance to the reel of the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. And God said, aye, tonight's tonight, we dance to the reel of the flickering light. Then he looked at me directly, in a gaze that could dissect me. And he asked me in a whisper, have you got any sisters? Good God Almighty, says I to him, what sort of a man do you think I am? I've only one, she's not your type. She wouldn't dance reel in the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. I've only one, she's not your type, and she wouldn't dance reel in the flickering light. Says he, does she come from another planet? Has she got a bee in her bonnet? Does she do her daily duties? You'd never know, we might be suited. And the rats and the worms began to laugh, and some of them they went shuffling off. And God said, aye, tonight's tonight, we'll dance to the reel of the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. God said, aye, tonight's tonight, we'll dance to the reel of the flickering light. I could see he had no scruples when I looked into his pupils. They were purple or magenta, like a statue during Lent. I said, I'll get her right away. Good man, says he, no, don't delay. We're going to have some fun tonight. And he flicked his heels in the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. We're going to have some fun tonight. And he flicked his heels in the flickering light. Then up stepped the red carnation, and they gave her an ovation. She was warm and enchanting, and she slowly started dancing. And the rats and the mice, the fine old pigeon peeped his eye, and the littles and the weeds began to sigh. Daddy Longlegs said, my oh my, are we ready for the reel and the flickering light? Around we go, heel to the toe. Daddy Longlegs said, my oh my, are we ready for the reel and the flickering light? She was gentle, she was charming, and I heard him call her darling. He was graceful as a whisper, on his delicate legs of silver. And the rats and the worms were still as mice, and the fine old pigeon said, that's nice. A shimmering veil on the lovely bride, and they danced to the reel and the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. A shimmering veil on the lovely bride, and they danced to the reel and the flickering light. Around we go, heel to the toe. A shimmering veil on the lovely bride, and they danced to the reel and the flickering light. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to do you a little poem that I wrote at the start of the Good Friday Agreement back in Ireland when I heard about it first. And it inspired me something fierce to write this poem. And it's amazing now because it's come to full circle. It's called The Day That Love Won. The day that love won, the stone rolled back and the bells of freedom rang. On the day that love won, the rose of Sharon rose and hosts of angels sang. No beating drum was heard, no war cry, nor the sound of sabre clang on the day that love won. On the day that love won, we lost our fear. We lost our lust and our coveting. On the day that love won, for land, for power, for greed and glittering. Embracing peace above all else, above every dead and every other living thing. On the day that love won. On the day that love won, a little boy named Martin grew to be a king. On the day that love won, he dreamed a dream, he'd not be judged by the colour of his skin. And he lived that dream as he spake that dream, and he shared it with all men. And yes, yes, we lost him then, but in the end, his love won. On the day that love won, 600 men of war and power came to meet. On the day that love won, with humble hearts they sat and wept and washed each other's feet. And the cursed axe of war was banned, 'twas forever buried deep, 'twas forever buried deep. On the day that love won. On the day that love won, our tongues refused to sing another ancient rebel song. On the day that love won, we realized the error of curing wrong with wrong. So we danced a different dance, and we all sang Give Peace a Chance, without another backward glance on the day that love won. On the day that love won, we gave out roses from ocean to sea. On the day that love won, a rose from each friend and from each enemy. From the rose of Mooncoin to the rose of Tralee, from Adams, McGuinness, Trimble, Paisley, the white rose of peace shone for you and for me on the day that love won. Thank you. Thank you very much. How are we going for time there, Eileen? Have plenty time? Okay, grand. What I do? I haven't really thought this out. I thought I'd sort of ad-lib it, you know, a little bit. I'm going to try and play the guitar. I think the farther I keep away from the mic is probably the better, so not really. Steal away, no reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start anew, and darling, steal away. Steal away and chase our dreams and hope they never find us. The rainy days, the empty nights, we leave them all behind us. We leave behind the city streets, the gloom, the desolation, the rain, the cold, the growing old. God knows it's a tough old station. Steve, hang on. We leave with just our memories and make a new beginning. We have to choose to win or lose, and it's time we started winning. Steal away, let's steal away, no reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start anew, and darling, steal away, and darling, steal away. Santa gave me 4 guitar lessons, and I had it there since Christmas, and it really hurts the fingers, and Ricky, my wife, reckons it's really hurting her ears as well, but anyway, it's not that bad. She didn't really say it. Sounds alright at home in the lounge room. It's a bit hard to play here now. This is something I wrote for our son. We've got a boy over in Iraq at the moment, and he's over there serving with the Australian Army, and I wrote this just after Christmas time up there at Woodford, at the folk festival at Woodford. So I hope you like this. You miss your kids when they're away, and I suppose you're missing me more when they're in some place like where he is, you know. Happy Christmas, Joey, somewhere over in Iraq. I hope you're safe and warm and eating well. Our Christmas tree looks like the Pope. If you were here, you'd see the joke. It's sort of, Jesus, son, I'm missing you like hell. So now and then I sing you, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are falling. 'tis you must go and I must bide. And I taught you what I could, and I hope it's doing you good, how to strive and win and lose and laugh and cry. And I taught you how to drink at the Woodford Guinness tent. We sang side by side the fields of Athenry. But right now, I'd sooner have a cup of tea and sing you Danny Boy. And when you come and all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, for dead I will maybe, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I think about that time we spent in France. You just had to see the beaches and the sun, and where your heroes fell in the mud and blood and hell. You were just 16 then, and I said, Joey, Joey, 'twas all wrong, boy, 'twas wrong. And we walked amongst the graves at Villers-Bretonneux, and we read the names and the ages and the places they were from, like Mackay, Coffs Harbour, the Alice, Darwin, Broome, Wollongong. And we read the many comments in the big black book kept under the shelter over by the gatehouse, written by thousands of well-meaning idealists and pacifists, just like your dad. Sentiments like senseless, waste of life, abhorrence, and oh yeah, all for what? For what? You cringed. For what? I'll tell you for what. Blind ingratitude, that's for what. And you said it ought to be called the big black insult book, insulting the most precious gift of all, freely given by the most generous people that ever walked. And then you looked me square in the eye with a maturity I'd never seen before in all your 16 years. And you said, Dad, our freedom wasn't free. 'Twas bought with a rich red currency that's ploughed into these fields below our feet. And then you looked down at the headstone that stood there silent between you and me, and you spoke to it with a reverence. If it wasn't for the likes of you, Reggie Mulligan, Tamworth, New South Wales, aged 18 years, we'd be writing what we're told to write. And we'd be thinking the way we're told to think. That's if we weren't all given a one-way ticket to Auschwitz. So thank you, Reggie Mulligan. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Then you straightened yourself up again and you looked me square again with that look again, and then your eyes softened. And you said, it's okay, Dad, to write that shit, but someone ought to thank Reggie, you know, for the privilege. And I knew then they were calling you. They were calling out to you, weren't they, boy? And I knew one day you'd sail. I knew one day you'd sail. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. Oh Danny boy, oh Danny boy. Happy Christmas, Joey, somewhere over in Iraq. And I love you so. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's not real easy to do it all the time. I have to kind of detach myself a certain amount from it and just be over there somewhere. He's going to get the, I put on a CD last week. 1 minute. One song or 1 minute? One song, okay, I'll hurry up. He's going to get a copy of it anyway. I put on a CD last week with Claude Street. It's on its way to, well, he's on his way to holidays. He's going to get it there, so I'm delighted he's going to get it. This is, what will I do for you? This is a little poem I wrote for the Tinkers, the Gypsies, the travelling people, whatever you like to call them back in Ireland. There was a bunch of them that used to come around our way, and Ruby was a dancer, and she was beautiful, and she had a little girl that was the spit of herself with the lovely long red hair. I wrote this for them. They were beautiful. There's a couple of Irish words in it, buchel and darag. Darag is red, like as in growing, darag would be red hair. Pick up my coin, O buchel, O, and guard it in your honest hand. But turn your eyes from my lusty reel, the decent people band. For I'll dance my dance to feed my wane on the green behind the square, where the paying men conceal their sin with the priests and the peelers there. And one day you will wed my ruby darag and share the tinker's sup. I screwed it up. Anyway, she used to dance for the money that they'd throw, you see, and she was banished away after onto the back of the park. Pick up my coin, O buchel, and guard it in your honest hand, but turn your eyes from my lusty reel, the decent people band. For I'll dance my dance to feed my wane on the green behind the square, where the paying men conceal their sin with the priests and the peelers there. And one day you'll wed my ruby darag and share the tinker's sup. The balmy summer days gave way to a winter fierce and bleak, and the tinkers frozen in the glen were dying by the week. One snowy night the banshee cried, dawn broke the painful answer, another foxy tinker gone, the young one of the dancer. That night I warmed her icy grave with tears from off my cheek. I never saw that clan again. They might be in Kildare, or down in Cork beside the Lee, sure they could be anywhere. Mending pots, reading palms, fighting for their supper, for the tinker sure knows how to live, and he sure knows how to suffer. What's that? You've heard of them in Clare? My laughing grandson chased a roo out of my garden patch, and the kookaburra's laughing too. I think they're gonna hatch. The lemon myrtle in the air soothes my weary soul as I doze beneath the Queensland sun and dream on days of yore. So long ago, so far away, the tea leaves got it wrong, 'twould seem. Was it in another world, or was it just an old man's dream? Yeah, maybe just an old man's dream. Of a campfire quiet to fall asleep beneath a starry sky, with red-haired Ruby in his arms, humming Danny Boy in the flickering firelight gleam. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was Joe Lynch from all the way down from Mulvaney. Thanks, Joe. Some good stuff. Thank you very much. We're just going to have a quick little break while we do a couple of things, and then Bridie's going to jump up and sing some songs for us.